If it doesn't feel right, if you go to a particular doctor or a situation, don't just take what they say, because all doctors are not gods. When I was diagnosed the first time, one of my best friends was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma probably 5 years before that. And so I saw everything that she had to go through, from the radiation to the bone marrow transplant to losing her hair. And she was in remission for a little while, and then it came back. And actually, the day I had my surgery, she was in the hospital. She ended up dying the Thanksgiving weekend of 1994. So when you compare the two, you gotta think you're pretty lucky. In March of 2008, I was diagnosed. It was the same breast, but this time it was a different cancer. It was mucinous carcinoma. Again, it was, I guess, a little larger than the size of a pea. And it just floors me when I hear people say, well, I don't want to get a mammogram because I'm afraid what I might find. It's like, well, if it's too late, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be. So why wouldn't you want to find out early and get things taken care of? But everybody's different. The people that I worked with the Friday before I had the surgery, everybody wore pink. That meant a lot, because it's one thing, take up a collection and buy something for somebody, but for people to remember, the next day to come in and wear pink for somebody. I did the testing to see if I had the BRCA mutation, which I don't. If I did, I would have had, a mastectomy on both sides. But I had read Dr. Susan Love's breast cancer book, and one of the things that she said in there was, if it's not broken or there's nothing wrong with it, then why take something healthy that's, living and doing okay? So I figure I'll just keep what I have and go that route. At the breast surgeon's office, I went and they said, okay, let's schedule surgery and we'll give you a plastic surgeon to go to. So I said, well, how did you decide which plastic surgeon you want to send me to? And they said, well, he takes Aetna, which was my healthcare provider. So, okay. So I went and met with him. I'm sure he's a fine surgeon. I've heard other people that have gone to him and just thought he was wonderful, but he wasn't for me. Of course, they call me the queen of questions at work. I had, a million questions, and, like specifically, how many of these surgeries, have you done? How many reconstruction, with the latissimus muscle? And he couldn't tell me. So I'd say, if you're not happy with somebody, go to somebody else and find somebody, because there's plenty of different people with different personalities and things like that. And don't feel like you're forced into something that you don't want to do. I was never, one that wanted implants, but now that I have them, it's great. And the people at work, they tease me and say that everybody would have gotten a bigger bonus if I wouldn't have had all these 3 plastic surgeries. One of the things that was helpful for me, because you go to so many different doctors and radiologists and that type of thing, is to keep a book and with all the different tests that you've had, whether it's a blood test or a bone density. I've got, like a little calendar every appointment that I had, because every doctor that you go to, they want to know any other surgery that you had and when you had the biopsy and what the results and pathology reports and that type of thing. So if you just keep it in a binder, and then every time you have surgery or go to the doctor, you take it with you, and it saves a lot of time, because then they don't have to email or get a fax, from the other doctor or hospital where, the tests were performed. If somebody said, would you like to have breast cancer, I would certainly say no, but you just see how many wonderful people are out there, and I think everything happens for a reason, and so my mission is to spread the word to, get a mammogram.